The first poem I'm going to read is actually the poem that I published in the Common, titled There's No Ignoring It Now. For days, doubt struck as does lightning across the span of night. Illuminated that way, how did we cross the river? One stone, then another. The silence between us a keyhole through which I peeked and found you teasing off your robe. Love? If it exists, it's the uncertainty one feels before a thunderclap, after the sky has gone dark again. Oh, prick of hope, I am too numb. The stir of weaker creatures seeking safety. From afar, one could call it beautiful. Even if you can't, I recall those mornings, the dappled light spat across my cheeks. When you disrobed before the window, whose eyes did you hope to catch? Mine or your own, reflected in the glass? Before the owl swoops in and snatches it up, before it's dead, when a lone mouse hesitates, then steps into the clearing, is that faith or foolishness? My next poem is a poem I wrote in conversation with a story that resonated with me from Ovid's Metamorphoses. You don't need to know which one, but if you do know, you know. They bolted and brought him low. 1. Dragging beside them now the boy, his body a purple unlike that shade reserved for royalty, ankles tangled in the reins, no more able to free himself than they can rid themselves of him. The horses keep their stride, galloping not toward anywhere, lacking guidance, unless away from harm can be a kind of aim, than that. Undirected, not yet riderless, they gallop even harder than when whipped, as if effort had always been the answer. 2. Not a question entered his mind at the reins, where he'd felt secure, closest to that ideal he aspired to, that of a boy, able to go where he pleases, so no longer a boy, but a man. And so a cloudless sky looked then like possibility. From a lower vantage now, it looks as if his is only one of many dilemmas along a dirt road that leads where? There are countless ways a boy is drawn toward risk, curiosity, apathy, a need to numb, a shame born out of belonging, in a sense, nowhere, all easily confused from afar, as hard to discern as between the rider and the horses, who suffers more, as if knowing mattered, as if knowing put either at ease, like a cloud of dust kicked up by hooves, settling on his cracked, bleeding skin. Across the boy's face, something spread, a look of calm, of one perhaps knowing his limits, that human part of him. 2 hands struggling to grasp the reins, then 2 hands letting go. And my last poem, I guess I'd like to just say, I want to invoke my mom. She passed at the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, and this poem is for her. Thank you all again for inviting me here. And I want to mention that the title of this poem is a line taken from a poem by Ada Limon, who I really love. What I see when I stare long enough into nothing. A screen door easing shut. The only way I can describe this creaking in my knees. It's when I'm alone that this pain is easy to hear. I haven't been a child in years, yet here I go, discussing the past again. I've been told what happened to me doesn't define me. matters less than the narrative I tell. At night, I rub coconut oil into my skin, over the scar on my arm in the shape of a garden snake. I can tell it disappoints you, how I can't recall its origin, but trust me, it doesn't matter now. Seeping through my fingers, the oil reminds me of rain, how at first it gently settles into the soil, unless there's a storm, at which point picture a child ignoring what they've been told, who finds a way to ruin their shoes, and picture a mother relieved when finally her child returns, even if he leaves the door ajar, even if he leaves footprints on the floor. Thank you.